Well, I screwed that up. Take two. This is supposed to be a reasonably quick video without a lot of preparation, and I don't do too well that way. Let's see if I can get it all out this time. But this is my obligatory memo video. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about the memo issue and controversy. I'm going to leave that to people who have more time to do it. But I am going to address some of the reaction to the memo that really troubles me. Because something I have heard from a lot of people is, the memo is just an allegation, so it's nothing. And I've heard that a lot. Boy, the memo was nothing. No, it's not. It's a very serious allegation of abuse of power. That's not nothing. It didn't live up to the hype. Well, that is actually true. But this is not a movie that didn't live up to the trailer. I don't care that there weren't as many explosions in the memo as I was promised. The memo was very serious business. But the one that really irritates me is when people say, well, until we learn more, I'm not going to take a side. An investigation is warranted. The memo was released to get a public outcry, to get a public reaction. They are trying to declassify documents that they believe the public should see. And government, whether it is the court system or the executive branch or Congress, they respond to strong public outcry. That's what we need to have. I am not a Republican. I have never been a Republican. I haven't voted for a Republican in a national election for probably over 8 years. Ditto the Democrats. I am not a Democrat. I don't vote for Democrats. Not ever. I want to see the two big parties replaced by smaller parties. But I'm still deeply invested in this memo issue. I am not on the side of one party or another. I am on the side of people who want more transparency. And I am against the side that wants less. That's whose side I'm on. If this allegation came from Joe Blow off the street, then I'd probably brush it off too. But this comes from Devin Nunes. He's a Republican. That's not as important as this. He is, and this is the only thing on my screen so I don't flub it up, he is the chairman of the United States House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. That's a position of strong authority, making an allegation of serious abuse of power from the FISA court. Now, normally, an allegation isn't to be taken seriously if it's just an allegation, because the burden of proof is on the person making the claim. This case, the reverse is true. I know that sounds backwards, but the reason is we don't have any evidence about what has really happened because it involves the FISA court. And the FISA court is protected by a curtain of secrecy. We know virtually nothing that goes on there. I don't think it is mature and responsible and reasonable to look at a curtain of secrecy, government secrecy, and say, well, I can't see what's on the other side of that secrecy, so I'm not going to take a side. It's very strange to me. I look at a curtain of government secrecy and I say, I demand to know what's on the other side, right now, because someone in the know has told me I should know it. And if you're not going to talk about the memo, that's fine. That doesn't bother me in the slightest. But if you are going to talk about it, don't brush it off like it's nothing. If I were a partisan Republican, I would want to know if the allegation is true, and I would want to know it right away because that's an abuse of power by the opposition. If I were a partisan Democrat who believed the allegation's false, I would still demand that the FISA documents be released immediately. That way this allegation can be debunked. Not being on either side, I still demand that the FISA documents that are relevant to the memo be released as clearly as possible so that we, the people, know what the truth is. I am on our side. This is not nothing.